You're watching India Today Global. This is a world exclusive. We have our first reporter from an Indian channel on the ground in Lebanon. This amidst the West Asian crisis that's now unfolding uh, in West Asia between Lebanon and Israel. The missile strikes, drone strikes haven't stopped. Israel determined, despite an offer by the United States of America, France, and its allies for a 21-day ceasefire. Israel has rejected that. And amidst all this, we are seeing the biggest humanitarian crisis, one of the biggest, so to say, humanitarian crisis unfold in Lebanon. Over 90,000 people reportedly have fled the country into yet another country that has been reeling under a massive crisis. That's Syria, has been under missile strikes and threats from various quarters. And at this juncture, we have our correspondent Ashraf Wani, who's reporting from the ground. He was in Beirut, moving towards South Lebanon. Ashraf, thank you so much for joining us. I hope you're safe. And where exactly are you? Have you reached South Lebanon? What's the situation there?
Geeta, actually, I am in the town of Saidun, which was yesterday hit by the Israeli Air Force. One house was targeted yesterday here in this town. I'm on the highway. You can see the deserted look on Friday because people are in the fear that probably at any time, at any moment, Israeli Air Force is going to target any specific location. As I'm talking to you, we are getting reports that already the Israeli Defense Forces have started air raids and airstrikes in the Netanyahu, that is a town in the South Lebanon, and also near the Tyre city, which is another coastal city in the South Lebanon. But there is particularly fear among the people associated with the Hezbollah and the Hezbollah fighters in the stronghold where they mostly reside with their families, particularly in the south of Beirut, the city. I was early in the morning today, where I saw all the three assassinations which were carried out by the Israelis during the first for the military commander of Hezbollah in the South Beirut in Qaishi, who was the leader the Hezbollah. He was assassinated in the same locality. Then yesterday, another commander of the Hezbollah who controls the who was controlling the drones and other defense capabilities of Hezbollah. He was assassinated.
Right. Just to get you right, because your audio we are having a bit of a trouble with your audio, Ashraf. You said that you're in the very same area where Fouad Shukr, the military chief of Hezbollah, was assassinated not so long ago. And then you had Ibrahim Qawasi, the head of the rocket unit. And just yesterday, Mohammad Surur, the air command, head of the air command. All of them taken down by the Israeli forces. So a city that now the IDF is looking at very closely. And what is the situation in terms of the people over there? Have they all left the city or are they still there? Ashraf, in just a bit, we've lost that connection. But that's what Ashraf was reporting, that he is in a city, in an area where things are looking difficult. The air command, the command of the air unit of Hezbollah, Mohammad Surur, was killed. And now we are looking at an entire lot of people who are also fleeing from those parts. He is in South Lebanon right now. We'll try connecting with him again. It is a very, very serious situation because we've been speaking to various people. There are reports coming in from various quarters, including Human Rights Watch, the United Nations organization that is looking at and has people on the ground also looking at the humanitarian situations, something we've been looking at and focusing on very, very closely. But let's take a look at some of the visuals that we are putting out right now. This is just going through the deserted roads of cities in South Lebanon, where people have fled the town and cities and have moved towards the border. Unfortunately, the border is Syria. Ashraf has joined us again, and we will try connecting with him. Just getting his video right, because that certainly again continues to be we're having a bit of a trouble there. But look at the visuals over here. We're talking about the city over here that bears some parts bear deserted look. Over here, it's the market area and towns, which is where Ashraf was traveling from, and he sent his dispatches from there on how South Lebanon really looks. He was traveling from Beirut to south of Lebanon, southern parts of Lebanon, which is reeling under Israeli strikes. In the morning, there were certain reports of missile attacks and drone strikes by the Israeli forces. Now, Ashraf joins us back. Ashraf, coming back to you, we had a bit of a trouble there when it comes to connection and connectivity, and certainly being where you are, that is going to pose problems. So apologies to our viewers who have been watching this. Ashraf, take it away. What is the situation like when it comes to people in southern parts of Lebanon? We know that you were reporting and you've sent us dispatches of bombings, strikes that are continuing from the Israeli side. But where do these people go? Where from Lebanon? If they're moving towards Syria. Yet another country where, they're not safe. So nobody actually is safe in Lebanon, even if they're trying to flee Lebanon.
Yes, Rita, absolutely. When there was uprising and war in the Syria, thousands of people, displaced people from Syria migrated to the Lebanon, and they found some place to reside in the southern parts of Lebanon. So with the population living already in the South Lebanon, there was almost all the 5 lakh population, somehow 1 lakh families of Syria who had migrated and had got some kind of work here in the South Lebanon and were residing here. But after the recent escalation in the South Lebanon, particularly in all areas on the border with Israel, now these people are also in a hurry and fear that where they will go. With them also the South Lebanon people find it easy to go to Syria because there was a road link, major road link which is being used from Syria to Lebanon and Lebanon to Syria, that is very poor without any kind of a security check between the two countries. So most of the people illegally and use that road link. But day before yesterday, Israel has also bombed a bridge which connects this connectivity between Syria and the South Lebanon. So that has become another hurdle for the people who want to migrate or from get out of the South Lebanon. Now, most of the pressure, what I witnessed since early in the morning, the people who can afford are coming to the Beirut with their vehicles, with their cars, resulting the extra traffic and jamming inside the Beirut, and also in the Beirut in a particular part, that is the main city of the Beirut. Otherwise, if you talk, as you mentioned about the South Beirut, the southern part of the Beirut city, which is the stronghold of Hezbollah, and most of the, including the Hamas leader, was only in this part of the Beirut city. So these people from the South Beirut are also migrating from their places towards the other parts of Beirut and other parts of the Lebanon, central Lebanon and eastern Lebanon. But also the people coming from the south, they are also coming to that place so that they can find some kind of a facility to survive, like schools, like hospitals and other empty buildings which are here in the Beirut, so that they are presently residing there. Some of the NGOs, non-governmental organizations, volunteers had uh, uh, tried to make those people accommodate to. And also the Lebanese society is very liberal and very soft. So they are helpful people.
Right.
They think that the people coming from the south, it is their responsibility and duty to not only look after them, but also provide some kind of a shelter for them.
Right.
But Geeta, very important point. This is, please, no, carry on. Yes, Geeta, what you want to ask?
No, no, go ahead. Go ahead, Ashraf. You said there's an important point you want to make.
Yes, what I was telling you in the initial stage when we got our internet connection got disconnected. I am in the Saidun city. This is the part of, and we can say the path start of the South Lebanon, where yesterday Israeli Air Forces bombed two houses with the 3 or 4 missiles. Nobody counted those missiles, but there was a devastating damage in that attack. The house has been sealed by the Hezbollah fighters themselves because they are controlling this part of the Lebanon. So they did not want to indulge in their affairs, some other authorities of Lebanon or someone else. Even they are keeping the media and the media teams and demonstrators away from their spots. That look you can see here now. This is the Saidun town, one of the top 4 towns of the South Lebanon, but people are not coming here on the road and very less movement because people are in the fear that at any time, any moment, Israel can strike at will where he wants. And
Right.
the one thing what I saw here that the Israeli defense forces have managed to penetrate in the Hezbollah ranks, and they may be providing them that kind of specific
That's
and proper locations
that's
for their targets.
that's a very important point you're making, Ashraf. You're saying that there's Israeli penetration into Hezbollah.
Yes, maybe because Mossad is so much stronger intelligence agency across the world, known for its affairs not only in the Iran and other Gulf countries, but also here in the Lebanon. It has become a challenge for the Hezbollah itself that who is the person or who are the people who are providing that kind of specific information that where they are going to meet, where they are gathering, as the 2 days back when this Ibrahim Kwashi was assassinated with the other members and fighters of the Hezbollah. There was a meeting going on in the South Beirut where the specific floor of that 10-story tall building was targeted with the specific missile that only hit that part of the building where this meeting was going on, and which has been also confirmed by the Hezbollah itself. So very tough times for the Hezbollah as well as for the Lebanon, because already the Israel has denied any kind of pause or any kind of ceasefire in this ongoing war, and also the same kind of attitude by the Hezbollah. So as today early in the morning, we have seen many strikes going on by the IDF in different parts of the South Lebanon and towns. So that is creating some kind of a chaos in all Lebanese here in the Lebanon.
Well, again, a very important issue over here is also going to be what is the strategy of the Hezbollah looking like? Ashraf, you've been speaking to a lot of people. What do you, in your conversations that you've had, what are you picking up in terms of what the strategy for the next few days or week is going to look like?
Gita, actually, for last 11 months, since the start of the Gaza war, Israel always tried to push, or we can say pull in the Iran into this war so that it could become the direct conflict between Iran and the America. So far, Iran also avoided that kind of a confrontation with US directly, and US is also knowing that it will expand the war across the Middle East. That will not be good when the presidential elections are due in the month of November. Uh, but the way the Israel and Netanyahu is not listening to anyone, even he was criticized by most of the world leaders during the UN annual meetings in the New York. where he yesterday spoke, and the kind of attitude Netanyahu so far from the Israeli side has shown gives an indication that probably this war is going to escalate, as there are reports, and Israeli defense minister himself has said that they are preparing for the ground invasion into the Lebanon. If they do so as they have done in the Gaza, that will be very devastating, not only for the Lebanon but also for the Israel itself, because they can't take Hezbollah fighters so easily. Despite all these strikes, more than 2,000 strikes during the last 10 days in the Lebanon, the Hezbollah has not finished it. They are well on the spot. They know how to streamline and how to pull up and make their fighters together. They have assessed, and even I was getting the input that probably some of the volunteers from Iraq, Syria, and Iran are going to join Hassan Nasrallah in the coming days fight against Israel.
Right. Again, my last question to you before I let you go, I know because you have a lot of reporting and news gathering to do. On the humanitarian angle, a lot of people are leaving Lebanon. What's the situation on the ground? Humanitarian workers who are working there saying that the situation is looking tough. Will it get as tough as it got for the Palestinians when it comes to aid, food, water? Is Lebanon comfortable right now on that front, or are we looking at very difficult times ahead, because there are schools that have been filled up by displaced persons? So we're looking at a massive number of internally displaced and so many more who are at the border to leave Lebanon. It seems like we've lost Ashraf Wani, right? But we'll try connecting with him through the day. He has been he's reached Lebanon, the first Indian channel to be in Lebanon. We're getting ground reports from Ashraf Wani, and we'll be getting it through the day. But the biggest story over here is going to be about the humanitarian crisis. The reports that are coming in, which look quite grim, of how shelters have been created in schools, in institutes, around hospitals, to cater to all those who are internally displaced, who are moving from the areas that are being bombed by Israel as we speak. And there are also those who are now trying to flee Lebanon. Unfortunately, there are only a few avenues for them to leave, and one such is moving to Syria, another country that certainly is not safe. We have been trying to get a lot of reactions and word from various quarters, and it seems like right now everybody's concerned about what's happening to the people, to the civilians of Lebanon in a war between the Hezbollah and Israel. While this war will continue, what turn it will take is something we'll have to wait and see. There are many other quarters, proxies in the region who are going to come out in support of Hezbollah. And in such a scenario, what is Israel going to do? Immense pressure on Israel also, that it should look at a ceasefire, a temporary ceasefire, to ensure safety and security of civilians. Israel, although, has rejected it. There is an internal dynamics at play even within Israel, with Ben-Gvir, minister in the Netanyahu administration, who has threatened a pullout should Netanyahu consider a ceasefire. So a lot of layers within Israel as also in the region when it comes to what the situation is on the ground. Also Hezbollah, although there is a huge support for the cause of Palestine in the Arab world, there is a rift between the Arab countries such as Saudi Arabia, Qatar, the UAE, and Hezbollah. Again, based out of Lebanon, a Shia extremist bloc, and so many from the other part of the world, particularly thinkers from there, have been saying that Hezbollah has to be eliminated. What really will happen in this war between Hezbollah and Israel that has gone beyond just Gaza is something we'll have to wait and see, but developments will keep coming through the day, and we over here at India Today Global will keep you abreast with whatever is happening in West Asia. Thank you.